Okay, welcome back everyone to the Vivian Show. This is episode number 3, and I got Gabby here. I'm really excited about this one because I usually bring more than one people, and this is a one-to-one. It's gonna be really
Yes.
good, and I know that you got a lot going on, and I just wanted to people to get to know you and get to know all the exciting things that you're having around. So Gabby, tell me a little more about yourself. You're a real estate agent. You have been doing this for a while now, but
Yes.
I've also seen you, your sister, and your family grow through the years, and that's really inspiring. So tell me a little more about yourself so people can get to know you.
My name is Gabby Zenner, and I am a mom. I am an entrepreneur, and also I am stepping in as the new president for the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals as of February of 2026.
Are you excited for that?
Super excited.
That's
Something new, and yeah, super excited about it.
that's really fun. What else do you like doing about besides doing real estate, obviously, and now that you're gonna have this leadership role, what do you like doing for fun?
I keep everything, it's very routine. So, the first thing I do every morning after praying and meditation is I hit F45. That's like my
I've
ultimate.
seen you doing that. Yeah.
Yes, so I hit it every morning. I'm about to be on my 300 workout. And so I'm very consistent. I show up every morning, and that's my first thing to pour into my cup. That's the
Mhm.
first thing I do. Um, Now, my daughters are pretty much fully grown. My oldest is 27 and my youngest is 17.
Wow.
And so, with the little one being 17, the oldest one moved out many years ago. And the little one is just growing into herself. She's driving, she has a little job, she plays sports. And so it leaves so much room for me to focus on my business as well as my marriage. So
Yeah.
my husband and I go on dates. We go on
I know you
lots of
guys are
dates.
so
Like
much
every
fun.
week we have a date going on.
We
So
should do a double date.
we should,
That'll be
absolutely.
really, really fun.
Absolutely. But that's like my main routine, and I usually don't move away from that.
Yeah.
So it's the gym, focus on business, family, and we do it all over again every morning.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great. I love it. Okay, so now that people are knowing you a little more, for how long have you been doing real estate and what drove you to do real estate?
So I've been doing real estate now for going on 3 years. And, the way that I came into real estate was really funny. And it was something so brand new. I was working for Academy Mortgage and I was laid off. Everybody was laid
Yeah.
off. I was one of the
Yeah.
last ones to walk out and close the building
I
out.
actually remember that. Wait, which office? The one
I was
in
actually in the Draper, in
in
the
the
corporate
Draper? Yeah.
office. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I was corporate. And after we got laid off, I went home and I said to myself, what are we going to do next? Like, I've always known corporate America, so I thought I was going to jump right back in. But I started collecting unemployment for about 6 months or so. And during those 6 months, getting unemployed or getting laid off, I thought to myself, okay, you know what? We're going to take a step back and we're going to do something so new, something so different, something that scares me. I love doing things that
How,
scare
but
me.
how did you, because not everyone has that gut, to go and jump and do that. First of all, you got laid off.
Hmm.
I mean, that's tough.
Yeah.
Was it really rough? Were you expecting that at
No,
least?
we were not expecting it. And Academy Mortgage was probably one of the best teams I've ever had, that I've ever worked for. The culture itself was just
Yeah.
beautiful. Um, and then, as far as me jumping into things, well, what I could tell you is, I came here to the United States of America illegally. I'm an immigrant, and I came here at the age of about 7.5. And so, from at a very young age, I've had to make decisions that really scare me. So I just jump in. But, I usually think things through. And so what happened was I get laid off, and then I decide, okay, you know what? We're not going to be lazy. We're going to actually take the real estate exam.
Hmm.
And I've been told, my mom would always encourage, like, Gabby, you're going to be great in real estate. Do it, do it.
I mean, your
Marcel was
mom is a
already in it
real
for a
estate,
year.
yeah, your mom is a
Correct.
real estate agent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she has been in the business for, gosh, going on 30
Yeah.
years. And Marcella was in the business a year or so
Yeah.
prior to me stepping in. And so I decided to take the test. I passed my test. And even after that, Vivian, I actually told my husband, okay, this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay all my fees. I'm going to become a real estate agent. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to sell one house. And if I can sell one house, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of retire and go back to corporate America. I just want to know, can I do it?
Right.
A challenge.
Right.
You know, can we exceed this challenge? And I paid my fees. And after 2 weeks of me paying my fees, a good friend of mine called me, who also became a client of mine. And she says, hey, Chica, I have a client for you. He's elderly and I know you're good. I know that you're honest. Can you help him? And so then I'm like, oh my gosh, of course I can. I have no clue what's happening. I mean, I just pay my fees.
Right.
I really don't know, you know, how I'm going to go about it, how I'm going to even negotiate, nothing. And I showed up to his house and it was actually a mobile home. And he said, hey,
That was your first
it was my
transaction?
first transaction, a
Wow.
mobile home. And so he says, hey, you know what? My wife is sick. She's in Chicago, but I got to get her back to Mexico. Everybody has been offering me $13,000 for my mobile home, but I know it's worth more and I need $27,000. And so I said to myself, I mean, it was just such a bad situation that he was in.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember telling myself, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to find a buyer for this guy. I have to find him a buyer. And after many phone calls, I came across one gentleman that said, hey, you know what? I don't think you're going to get any more than 15,000, but I have a friend of mine that she might be able to assist you. And her name is Honey. And if for those who know me, I can be very bubbly, but also straight shooter.
Yeah.
And so then I'm like, okay, I'm like, Honey, that sounds like a beautiful name.
Yeah.
So I pick up the phone and I'm like, Honey, this is Gabby, and I have a beautiful mobile home for sale. I want you to meet me tomorrow morning. I want to show it to you. Just give me a chance to show it to you. She shows up and she's like, oh, no, I don't think I can give you 15,000, Gabby. And I explained the situation. And then I also explained, like, you know, you can rehab it for probably less than 1,500, put it back on the market and maybe sell it for 35.
Yeah.
And so at that point, she comes out and she says, no, I don't think so. And I said, I don't want you to tell me right now. Don't give me an answer. I want you to go home. I want you to think about it. Because if we arrived here at the same time, honey, and we are trying to do something good for somebody, I said, I know it's going to happen. So go home, think about it, and then call me. So I get home and I'm like, oh gosh, I got to start calling. You know, I got to find me a buyer. The next thing you know, she calls me the next morning and she's like, tell you what, I will buy it off for 30,000. And that took from the time that she called me, from the time that my client called me on Thursday, on Friday I met her. We were closing on Tuesday.
Wow.
And I mean, we went to Chase Bank. She pulled out 30,000, and the first thing she said was, "Hey, you've been an amazing agent. I wish more people were like you. Thank you for taking care of him. Thank you for not taking advantage of him." And the first thing she did was she paid me out, and it was 3,000. So she gives me 3,000. He pays him out, and everything else after that was history, because within about 2.5 months of me actually starting real estate, I came into another client of mine, the Garcia family. Shout out to the Garcia family. And they gave me the opportunity to be able to list their property, and then also they were buying.
Okay.
And so within 2.5 months, everything else, you know, from there
That's
was just
nice.
history. Yeah.
Okay, that you're like very unique because a lot of okay, so just to put it on perspective, we're talking these podcasts about business, owning your own business or sales, right? And also personal growth. But a lot of people think that jumping in real estate is really easy. It's not. It's
No.
it's a lot of like, I think owning your business, I've always said, is the reflection of who you are as a human being, the level or where you at right now. The more work you put on yourself, the
more you
better
get.
your business does, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people chase the real estate commission or the money. And so when they get their license, they're so desperate for money that instead of like actually getting transactions, they're just chasing, you know,
The paper. Yeah. Instead of helping
Exactly.
clients, they're chasing
and
the
so,
paper. Yeah,
so that's pretty
absolutely.
cool that you got those experiences. That's pretty nice.
But now
Okay.
keep in mind that during that time, I actually started working on 9 to 5.
Okay.
So I was working on 9 to 5, and then I was also doing showings. Like I would pick up the phone like, hey, so and so, I see that you're doing good. Do you have any open houses this weekend that I can do for you? Or hey, would it be okay if I tag along and do a showing with you? Or hey, can I do a showing? Can I do the showings for you? Maybe you can take the rest of the night off. And so I really immerse myself in trying to learn everything I could on my own. Right. My mom has done this for many, many years, and so does my sister. But I wanted to make sure that I stepped out of my own comfort zone and, try to find a way. Now, as far as sales or, anything like that, I've always been into sales and I've always been part of management. And so, asking somebody for a sale or asking them if I can help them, that's never been an issue. That was like easy for me. The only thing that and it's still like daunting is the paperwork, getting in there and doing another one and sending it.
All the real estate transactions, I think they're all different.
So different.
It's like right now I got a client moving from California, moving to Harriman. Their properties for 1.3. They're financing on bank statement loan a very short amount, but they're also selling their It's like it's very complicated. It's not intimidating for me. It's like when I see something like that and I'm like, okay, this is a great challenge. I'm going to get it done. I don't care what I need to do as long as it's honest and honorable. I'm going to get it done. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I love it. So you got into real estate, you got your license, you paid your fees, you had your 9 to 5. Now tell me, how is it now that, you have to hustle probably for like 18 months, a year and a half, right? Yeah. Kind of like to leave your 9 to 5. When was the point in your career that you say, okay, I'm stable enough to quit my 9 to 5 and just go all in?
So, well, first I've been married for almost 20 years coming up this September.
Nice. Congrats.
So I've been with my husband. So he always has supported every possible crazy dream or dreams that I've had. And so after I made the first $3,000 and then I got a buy and a sell. Now, obviously, during that time, my sister and I were half and half in everything. Right. However, that gave me roughly, I believe I had about $23,000 in the account where I told my husband, hey, I'm going to go full time. I'm going to just leave everything behind. I'm going to go full time. There's $23,000 that I have saved up. If anything goes wrong, that's what we're going to start kicking in, is that money. And so from there was no option. I had to swim and I had to swim hard. And so I was, during those times, I was building different relationships. A big relationship that I built in the beginning of my career was with my broker, Zach, with Refine. And from the first time that I signed my documents with him, right after that, it was twice a week. I would put it in my calendar for 8.5 months is how long it took. I would actually text him like, hey, Zach, it's me, Gabby again. Do you have any business? Hey, do you need any help? Can I do your open houses? Can I do some of your showings? And right in the beginning, he said, hey, I think I might have a few properties up for sale in Ogden, but I'm not sure how long it's going to take. And that's all I needed to hear because I was on him every single week. And after about 8 months, he calls me and he's like, hey, I have good news for you. And I remember Marcella and I were at an event and I said, hey, we need to step out because I think this is going to be great news for us. Nice. And he said, hey, girls, I have 4 listings for you. And so that was the beginning of last year. And that right there set us to have a great year, for the remaining of the year. Yeah. So I think when it comes to real estate, like you said, the more that you put in, the more you will get back. And you really have to treat every relationship, like a little seed that you just keep growing over and over again. And sometimes it blooms and it blooms into a beautiful flower that taught you, that, gave you so many great lessons. And it might not be your client, but you learn from every experience, right? And so, that's another one.
That's so cool. I think building up relationships, it's a big deal, especially like in the industry that we're in. Because look at you now. You're going to be the NAHREP president. So tell me what inspired you, because I know you guys were doing the sisterhood events some time ago with your sister. I think I saw your mom talking in one of them. Can't remember exactly, but where did you get that? Okay, I want to step on a leadership role. And how did you get involved with NAHREP? What motivated you actually to say, okay, you know what, I think I'm ready for these?
Yeah, so actually, the sisterhood that belongs to Vicky Blackie and my sister Marcella,
Mm-hmm.
but I did attend many,
Yeah.
and um, I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was something, once again, something new. I observe a lot, and I try to take everything I possibly can from each and everyone. Um, and after that, I just started attending different little tiny events here and there. And then my sister was also, she's a big part of the, for NAHREP. And she said, hey, maybe you can serve as, what was it, government affairs. And we're going to be traveling. You're going to, get to meet a lot of people. This is something that you have to do. You have to do it. And so I went in with an open heart and I served for a year. And even after a year, I wasn't fully convinced. There were several things that needed to run differently in
Mm-hmm.
order for me to be able to truly see it for what it was. And the following year, there was a few positions open, and one of them was the vice president. And I remember I was told by many, just run for it. You're going to be great. You're going to do it. You already have leadership skills. Like, you can help out. And I went in for the interview, and the next thing you knew, I was the vice president. And,
Wow.
it's been an amazing year. I have grown so much this year with NAHREP. And I've been able to travel to Washington, D.C. And when it comes to NAHREP, the mission statement is to sustain home ownership
Mm-hmm.
for Latinos and also educate the real estate agents and any professionals that are helping the Latino community.
Mm-hmm.
And so Washington, D.C. was something that opened up my eyes. I mean, we here in Utah, we're pretty small. The
Yeah.
Latino community is very small.
Mm-hmm.
But when you show up in different rooms like Washington, D.C., and you see so many Latinos doing so much more than you
Yeah.
are. They own companies, they're tech owners, they're making billions of dollars, they're helping so much in this country. And that right there opened up my eyes that I wanted to, step out of my comfort zone and truly grow as a person and see, what I could do for the Latino community, what I could do if I ever became president for my team. How would we make a difference? And the only way that I can make a difference is by teaching, is by bringing professionals, bringing in tech, bringing in AI, somebody that is more knowledgeable than I am or that what I can see around me
Mm-hmm.
to teach us.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I really like NAHREP. For some reason here, as you say, in Salt Lake, it's a very small Latino community. You guys, long time ago, there were other chapters around the area, but now it remains this little one
Salt Lake.
in Salt Lake.
Mhm.
I've been on the Great Las Vegas chapter. I actually sponsor some events in there. They're just amazing, and I just love seeing, as you say, sometimes you need to get yourself out there to see what's actually happening. I went to different real estate events with NAHREP in San Diego, Miami. I've been around because I
I
wanted
love
to
it.
see, and it's great.
What's out there? Yeah.
Right. I've never been part of the, like, kind of like the any leadership at NAHREP. I've actually been asked to serve a few times here in Salt Lake, but I was like, yeah, I kind of want to go out there and see and sponsor a few of the events and see actually what it looks like for other people, right? And so I feel like, as you say, sometimes you need to see other Latinos doing big things to see, hey, if they can do it, I can also do it.
Yeah.
And not just as a real estate agent, but like owning businesses, like teaching other people how to grow, how
Mm-hmm.
to support each other on this market.
Mm-hmm.
Who has been one of like probably your biggest inspiration within the NAHREP community?
Well, one of the main ones in my heart would have to be my sister. She's done amazing for the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. From what I recall, I believe she was the one that brought it back up to life. Yeah, right, because
Mm-hmm.
it was dying.
Yeah.
She brought it back up to life, and she did an amazing job. Right after that, it was Jose who has been serving for the last year. And he has done amazing when it comes to funding, and getting more money into our chapter. And this year, Vivian, it is so big. Like, I mean, I've seen it for the last 3 years grow into something so beautiful. This year, I had the honor of having 22 people run for positions, and
Wow.
there's only a total of 14 that we can have. Um,
That's great.
and I mean, there was interviews, and everybody was just, they have so much to bring to the table. And not just that, I mean, there was an additional 10 that just wanted to be part of the committee.
Hmm.
And right now, when it comes to the chapter, we have over 200 members, and that's growing.
That's
And I
great.
believe we started with about 40, so we're now up to 200. And my goal for 2026 is to grow it up to 500 memberships.
Yeah.
And so the first thing that we're going to be throwing
I'm
out
gonna have
there,
to join. You sold
absolutely.
me.
Oh
You
my
sold
gosh,
me.
I'm serious. It is so motivating. And when
Yeah.
you just see so many professionals just doing something so great, it really does inspire you. But, this year we have our first event coming up, which is February 20th, which is the Blueprint Gala. And so I'm inviting you and all of you to attend one of the most epic galas that you are going to see in
Okay, so tell
2026.
me a little bit about these galas. I've been in a few, not here in Salt Lake, but tell me how they look like. What are they for? So people that don't know, they know what to expect.
So the 2026 gala, that is when we welcome the new chapter in. That's when, you become, if it's events coordinator, and you take your position at that time in front of everybody. We invite a lot of lenders. We invite pretty much everybody in the business. We don't care, if you're a real estate agent, if you're a lender, if you have, a company out there that may be a restaurant. So we try to incorporate a lot of businesses. We try to put everything we possibly can to make sure the Latino community shines and that we are advocating
Hmm.
for our businesses.
That's great. I love it. You seem so excited about this, and I love it. I've seen you growing through the whole real estate career, and it's just amazing. If you were have to say anything to a real estate agent right now that it's struggling on the market or anything like that, what will you say, and especially to the Latino community, real estate agents? How can we help our own community to that home ownership process?
So, what I would say is, as real estate agent professionals, we have to educate, and we have to start educating at a very young age. These are kids that are coming out of high school, that are coming out of college, and truly teach them the importance of actually home ownership and why it's so important to start at an early age. That would be my first thing, would be educating, and my second thing, which is, put everything you possibly can out on social media and truly try to advocate for the Latino community.
I love it. I love that. It's nice. Now, why your broker, and why did you decide to? Well, now you're like kind of like are gonna do your own solo thing because your sisters used to have like your own team, and now you're gonna fly solo basically. How do
Correct.
you feel about that? Are you
You know what?
excited?
I'm excited. I mean, once again, it is something absolutely new. And what my sister and I created was something beautiful. Las Hermanas de Real Estate opened up so many doors for us. And we will always write for each other. We will always support each other's business. But, there's different goals that we both want to reach. But the mission, it is still the same. It is helping one client at a time to make sure that we provide, that we help them with the American dream, which is owning a home. And so that never changes. But, now I'm going in as a solo agent, 100%. And, when I say solo, I have a lot of experience. So it's just me going in there, going out there on my own. It's Zenner Real Estate,
Nice.
GabbyZenner.com.
I love
Yes,
it.
ma'am. So I'm so excited. I mean, I'm so excited. Just the way that Las Hermanas grew, this will grow into something so beautiful. So I
Yeah.
can't wait to connect all the dots, Vivian. And, as I was getting ready this morning, I told myself, in about a year and a half or so, I'm going to come back to Vivian's podcast,
Yes, we
and
would love to have
I'm
you.
going to be a whole different woman, because you do evolve, you do
Yeah.
grow. And I just can't wait to see, what this year brings,
Yeah.
and, as a human grow for
Yeah,
sure.
it is. It is. Owning your own business is challenging. A lot of people think it's like, oh, like I can do whatever you want. Like I have my own hours and whatever. But let's talk a little bit about what it means to be a mom and owning your business, because that's not for the weak. A lot of people think it's a lot, like it's easier. Like sometimes I'll get, so my daughter is 8, right? Her name is Emma, and sometimes I'll go pick her up, and people think, oh, you have all the time in the world. I'm like, no, I'm actually really organized with my time. That's why, and I'm very intentional because I want to, when I'm with her, I want to spend time with her, but I also created all of these so I can be the mom that I want to be. Talk to me a little more about what it means to own a business, being a mom, and all of that.
Well, I would say owning a business comes with a lot of responsibilities. And if you're not moving that boat ain't going anywhere, and
Yeah.
you're not making money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you do have to be organized. And so the way that I try to be, I hear a lot of people saying, like, I try to give my time to my kids and to my husband. Sometimes we don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
Sometimes business is very busy, and
Mm-hmm.
you're, taking a part in so many different ways. But for me as a mom, what I try to do is, if I know that we're coming into a busy season, or hey, you know what, guys, we have several houses under contract right now, or we're showing for the next couple of months, it's going to be a little bit busy. I'm not going to be there as often, but I will be there through the important things. So, for example, my little one who's 17, she attends Judge Memorial. And what I try to do is, hey, if Jazzy has a soccer game, I'm going to be there. I don't care what happens. I'm going to be at the soccer game, and I'm
Yeah.
going to give you the 2.5 hours that I have, and I'm going to be present. And then after that, if I have to, get back to business, that's what I do. So I try to pivot. My oldest, I try to get with her. Like, for example, this Sunday, she was like, hey, Mom, I miss you. Let's go on a walk. I said, absolutely.
No, that's
So I
nice.
picked her up. We went up to Liberty Park. We walked about, I would say, like 4 miles. We got some coffee. We talked. We spent some time. And so that was her time in the morning. And that was done from 7 o'clock in the morning till 9 a.m. And so, I try to be also very organized when it comes to my time. I get up every morning at 4:30 a.m. and I know that from 4:30 a.m. to about 9 a.m. that's pretty much how I'm pouring back into my cup.
Yeah.
From 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I'm dividing that amongst my family, work, business, just NAHREP.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I try to keep it level. And then on the weekends, usually Fridays and Saturdays, my husband and I will go on a date, or,
I love you guys
so
are so much fun. I love it.
you know what, I guess, when you get to be older, you're going to get there, girl. But when you get to be about 44 and you've done things, pretty okay, pretty right,
Mm-hmm.
you have all this time available now that you get to come back, and you're like almost reverting back into your 20s, because him and I are always like, now we're going out to eat, we're going out to just do fun things,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's how I try to balance
Yeah.
family
I love
and
it.
life.
I
Yeah.
love it. Not everyone has that luxury, but I think if you intentionally work on your business, you're gonna get there. I will say a lot of like people starting their business, they don't have a lot of time the first year probably
Yeah.
because you're like trying to catch up with
Mm-hmm.
everything. But as you go and you intentionally run your business as a business, you'll get there.
You'll get there. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I love
Yeah.
your story. It's really cool. I love all the things that you have done. Not everyone gets to be the NAHREP president. I'm just saying, like, for
Yeah.
people that don't know about NAHREP, it's not something easy to take on because it comes with a lot of responsibilities,
Yes.
ups and downs. I mean, obviously, networking with other people, trying to get the goals that you what's one of the goals that you want to accomplish as besides the membership that you want to get. How many what are the other goals that for you? Okay, 2026, this is what I want NAHREP to look like here in
Yeah.
Salt
So
Lake.
as a goal, we have set ourselves to bring in at least 20 sponsorships,
Nice.
and just to get out there and actually truly pitch what the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals is all about, to try to bring in good speakers so that way agents like ourselves, we get to learn from them.
Yeah.
And so my mission in 2026 is to bring a bare minimum of 20 sponsorships. And when I say sponsorships, they can go anywhere from 2,500 all the way to up to 10,000, which is diamond sponsorship. I know there's a lot of people out there. I know there's a lot of people out there in businesses that want to pour back into the Latino community. I just have to go out there and find them.
Yeah, and
And
they
so,
sometimes they don't even know. When I was so I used to own my own marketing agency,
okay.
and I didn't even know you can be a sponsor. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it's because I started networking with people in NAHREP on other states. They were like, well, you can sponsor us. And I'm like, wait, how does this even work? So that's good. That's also good for business owners to know that you can also sponsor. And I think the kind of sponsorship exposure that your business gets is really, really good.
Oh,
So,
yeah, absolutely. We've had, we bring anybody from attorneys. Last month we had immigration. It was the new era of immigration, and I brought in Patrick, an attorney downtown, and he did amazing. And out of that, he said he's been able to get an additional 7 clients that have to do with immigration. So when it comes to NAHREP, we do try to make sure that we are reaching out to businesses. In return, by them sponsoring, we put them out there. They are seen, I would say, more at a national level, because then we're sharing everything on social media. And so it does great. It does great for business owners
Yeah.
to get out there and be seen.
I love it. Okay, before we go, because I love it, and I don't want to take an hour on the podcast, but before we go, because I can chat forever, before we go, this is also about sales and business ownership. If someone is thinking about getting into sales or business ownership, what's a good advice that you can give?
So my first thing would be, if it was a brand new agent, I'll take it back to a brand new agent. The first thing that I would do is I would actually find a good broker. Okay, it doesn't have to be a big broker.
Yeah.
It just has to be somebody that you can trust and somebody that you can learn from. Second thing would be is just get into social media. Start marketing yourself. When it comes to Instagram, Facebook, most of my sales have come from social media. Yeah. And so it's just putting yourself out there and market yourself every single day. You're not marketing for the agents that you're marketing for the people that follow you, or people that are going to follow you. And so I would say is just really truly merge yourself into social media. Start grabbing business from there. When it comes to social media, the way that I look at it is your resume. When I go up for a listing or a buyer, I can quickly say, hey, Vivian, let's pull up my Instagram and let's see what I've done. Let's see what clients have to say about me or my business, or, the way that I run things. And so that just gives you a resume right then and there, with pictures, with videos.
I love it. A lot of people
yeah.
don't take social media very seriously. It's actually my first deal ever on real estate. I got it from Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's because it was from a college. One of my college classmates saw me that I got my real estate license, and her mom needed to sell her property. And she was like, girl, you need to help my mom. She really needs to sell these. We don't know what to do. Also Latina. And I'm like, I got you, girl. Yeah.
Yeah. So social media is, I would say, the number one thing. That's what I would say to any new business owner. Yeah. Get out there, get on social media.
And take it seriously, I think, because as you say, if I go to a $1.5 million listing, and if they see my social media, because they're going to Google you, those clients, they're going to look you up. They have looked at me on LinkedIn, YouTube, Shorts, Instagram, TikTok, everything. And if they see you that you're just doing kind of crazy things, it's okay, but they're most likely not gonna pick you, because you need to take, as I say, you need to run this as a business.
Absolutely.
I mean, you need to show yourself that you're a real person, but also you need to set boundaries so people can also respect you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's would you hire you?
Yeah.
That's my thing is
Yeah.
would you hire you? And, you have to, um, I would say you have to act accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming over.
Thank you so much, Vivian. This
I
was
would
great.
love for you to come back in 6 more months,
I
because
will.
on that time you're gonna be the president of
Yes.
NAHREP, and maybe we can bring more people from NAHREP so they can tell me more about it
Absolutely.
and see how your progress is going. Because I'm sure you're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna go to all those conferences, and I'm just thrilled for you. And
Thank
seeing you
you.
grow is just the
Thank you.
best thing. So thanks for coming
Thank
over.
you. And hey, don't forget, February 20th is our gala, and I would be honored to have you there.
Oh, I would
and
love to go.
everybody else
I've
out there.
actually never been on a Salt Lake gala. I've been on Dallas.
Okay.
Been in Vegas. I've been in other galas, and I've never been in a NAHREP Salt Lake
Well,
gala.
hey,
So
2026 will be your first time then.
that's okay. I'm
I love it.
excited for it. Okay, well, thanks for coming over.
Thank you, Vivian.
And I'll see you guys next time. See you.
See ya.